The LA Chargers are about to make a perfect move, and they're connected to a stunning move that I really like. If you're new to the channel, yes, we're Detroit Lions fans, but we live here in Michigan. We're Michigan fans. We're following Jim Harbaugh out to LA. So on this channel, it's all about the LA Chargers. You get an unbiased look into the LA Chargers. Plus, we know a lot about Jim Harbaugh and excited to see how he turns this thing around. So let's take a look at the move that could be happening. That's just perfect. And by the way, I got a question for San Diego folks, Los Angeles folks. That's coming up here in just a second. So stay tuned to that. Okay. It's no surprise that the Chargers need to get rid of some heavy contracts. Khalil, Mack, Bosa, like super inflated, older guys, injury prone. Like it's just, there's going to be changes, whether we rework those deals or trade, release. We'll see. One of those, Khalil Mack. There's this odd market for him. Yes, he's 33 years old, but he had a great season last year. And so before that, he was an obvious cut candidate. Like, hey, man, you did everything for us. Appreciate you. Your career's kind of over. Cut you. But he had a great season. So it's like, okay, maybe we can get some draft assets for him. So if you trade Khalil Mack, perfect. You can then get Shaq Barrett. Shaq Barrett was released because he was going to be owed a $15 million bonus. Now the Bucs don't have to pay that. They release him. He's free to sign with whoever he wants to. So here's how the numbers look. Bud Dupree signed a 1-year, $3 million contract last year. So it looks like Shaq Barrett could be more like a 1-year, $6 to $7 million deal. And that would save $15 million in cap space if you cut Mack, traded him, and signed Barrett. So even if you gave him a 1-year, $10 million deal, you get a really good player in Barrett that's in some ways equivalent to to Mack, and you save a bunch of money. So I don't think you just want to go cutting your best players and not replacing them with something, right? And just saying, well, we'll just draft. It's like, I don't think you want to wait that long. You've got this weird kind of window. And there's one other thing I'll show you. It's not a window. It's not like a win now window, but you do have a quarterback that's really good entering the prime of his career. Like, doesn't it feel like Justin Herbert's kind of screwed around here with some different coaches? And it's like, all right, he's really good, clearly, but it's like, now we go. So for the next 5 years, we got to do something. So we can't be waiting around for draft picks, or maybe they hit, maybe they don't. We need a mix of veterans and draft picks, but the veterans that you have are too old. So let's get some other ones that are a little bit cheaper, and let's roll with them. So I love that. So Barrett did not have as good of a season as Mack, but according to PFF, Barrett finished 23 season with 56 pressures. In 22, Mack finished with 59 pressures. So Barrett's production was around that of the 22 Mack, which we know was less than 2023. We know Mack was just like crazy in 23 last year, but he's too expensive. There's just no way you can keep him. So one other thing for you, and we'll get to it here in just a second, another cap saving type of move that the LA Chargers can make. But in the comments, let me know. We talked about this before. I would love to go to LA or San Diego. If I go out there, what's a restaurant that you recommend? What's a place I would have to stop by as a visitor, as a tourist that's looking for the best food? Let me know in the comments. Would love to be. I travel decent amount, right? But I've never been to LA, San Diego. Always want to go to San Diego or LA. Really, just like out on the west side of the country. I've never been over there. Living here in Michigan, it's cold. Makes perfect sense. Let me know in the comments. Okay, here's the next move that I think's perfect. The Chargers should discard Joey Bosa in favor of Khalil Mack. So we put a question out to you guys earlier. It's like, who would you get rid of? Bosa, Khalil Mack, your running back? And everybody was just kind of like, man, love you, Joey, but you're always injured, man. And you're really expensive, and the production hasn't been there, and you're just constantly injured. So I agree with it. I think there's the Bosa name, like from afar, right? It's like Bosa, defensive end. Like, it's like, yeah, but his hasn't played, man. Just doesn't. He's always injured. He costs way too much. Let's do something different. So I love it. I think I agree with it. Joey Bosa has been one of the best Chargers players in the last years and a fan favorite. As a matter of fact, he won Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2016, a 4-time Pro Bowl selection. So it's not like he sucks. We all know this. Like, he's really good, but the last 2 years, come on. However, he should be cut or traded away in 2024 free agent period, as he has been injury riddled over the last 2 years. He's played 14 of the last 34 regular season games and struggled to stay healthy. There's the numbers, right there. Keenan Allen's not going anywhere. There's no way. Mike Williams is probably gone. Joey Bosa. It's crazy. So the Chargers must get under the cap prior to March 13th when free agency starts. Although Mack has a higher cap hit and several franchises have inquired about him, the Chargers should keep him over Bosa because of he has remained healthy since signing with LA and had a career high 17 sacks last season. Straight up production's been there. So far this video, I showed you how you could get rid of Mack and replace him with Shaq Barrett. Also saw, hey, you keep Mack, you get rid of Bosa. Maybe you could get Shaq Barrett and replace him, but they're not really the same position people. Bosa's more of a straight up edge, or Shaq Barrett's more of a stand up outside linebacker, defensive end type of position. So again, the Chargers have it's really weird. They have a lot of work to do, but at the same time, they really don't. You saw the graphic. They're gonna adjust, move, trade, release 3 of these guys, and they're good. Then they're gonna draft well, and we've said this big time on this channel. Really excited the way they're gonna draft. They've got a general manager that's, and this is the way that like general managers are going. If you get new ones, you got to draft, you got to nail the draft. So he's got a former scout, former director of player personnel and scouting, like for the Ravens. And the Ravens have always drafted in the 20s. They're good at identifying tough physical players. You've got Jim Harbaugh, who's been in college for the last 7-8 years. So he's been looking at players all this time. So if you're a Chargers fan, the cap went up, you're in great shape. Like, don't look at the cap numbers and worry there. Great shape. Yeah, you're going to lose a couple of guys. Fine. Like, seriously, it's time to just turn the page. You have a new regime, new coach that's going to turn your fringe players and kind of your middle range players. Everybody's going to go up a notch. So those top guys that you had during the Brandon Staley era that you just had to have, it's like, see ya. Because our core guys are, our backup linebacker is going to go up a notch to where he was not playing well under Brandon Staley. Like, this is just everybody's going to get elevated, coaches, players, everybody. So those blue chip players aren't as important going into next year. And by the way, you've got the quarterback. So, I mean, that you've got the hardest part. Check. You've got a quarterback. Now you had a running game, tough defense. Defense kind of keeps you in every game. You got a good quarterback. I mean, it's going to be fun to watch the Chargers just be a good team, because the Chargers remind me of the Lions during the Stafford era. Just good enough to stay in the game, to get heartbroken at the end. That's it. And it's like, okay, this is not fun. We're going to be better than this, and I love it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see all of you on the next one.